How you doing, guys? My name is Avi and welcome back to my investing channel. So today we'll talk about a very interesting company named Ehang Holdings. This company is a Chinese company and they basically make drones. Those drones are made for lightweight logistics and heavyweight. I'm going to explain exactly in this video what I mean by lightweight and heavyweight, but I'm also going to talk about the business model, the risks the company has, the potential growth they have, and basically everything I can to give you a very clear picture about this company. So if you watch my video and you like the content, don't forget to click on the like button because it helps me a lot to grow the channel, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to get more updates about the company and other companies as well. We've said enough, let's start with the video. So Ehang basically serve two types of industry. We have the lightweight and we have the heavyweight. For the lightweight industry, they have several drones. One of them is the Falcon B and they have V100 and they have one more. Now for the heavyweight industry, they have one drone they manufacture, which is the Ehang 216. This drone can carry up to 220 kilograms. The small drones or the lightweight drones are mainly used to transport small packages. Now when we're talking about the heavyweight drones, they give companies the ability to transport very heavyweight packages up to 220 kilograms, but on top of that, they are making a lot of experiments as for this moment to transport human beings. If I'm going to take you a few steps to the future, this company is going to be one of the companies that are manufacturing drones that are going to replace ambulances and police cars and taxis. People are going to be commuting and transporting by using drones, and Ehang is one of the most advanced company as for today that manufactures drones exactly for this purpose. Now the first thing I like about Ehang is they have a very diversified business model. They are going to be selling their products and renting them, and from the nature of things, since there are many future uses for drones, they will have a lot of customers. And by the way, not only them, every company that will sell drones or gonna be a sophisticated drone manufacturer can provide services and value for a lot of different customers in different sectors and different industries. For example, there are oil rigs offshore that many times need to transport their oil with ships or with helicopters. These transportation methods are very expensive, and therefore to move the oil barrels with a drone will be much more cost efficient for the company. Another example is the airlines. Airlines might join forces with Ehang since the traditional airlines don't have the ability to offer short distance traveling solutions, and that's why airlines might see Ehang as a perfect solution for a bundle service when the traditional airline offer the long distance travel and Ehang offers the last 50 kilometers air travel solution. So as you can understand, this company can manufacture drones that will help people commute from place to place much faster, and they will pay exactly the same of how much they would pay if they take taxi in New York. As for this moment, there are many companies that are using drones to deliver small packages. The problem is there is a lot of regulation, and especially when it comes to what Ehang does, they are already transporting people in China. There are many experimental flights and they do it as well out of China, but it's not commercial yet, which means they are still in the experimental step. Now when it comes to revenue, back in 2019, revenue turned out to be $18 million. By 2023, their revenue is forecasted to be around $500 million. Now in the same time, the drone market share is supposed to grow from $3.7 billion back in 2019 to $103 billion by 2023. So this industry is forecasted to explode in the next few years. In reality, I do not know if that will happen. It might take more time, and it really depends on regulation. But the technology is already there. The technology exists, and this company is already manufacturing drones that have the ability, the full autonomous ability to carry two persons in one drone and take them from one place to another place. Now let's talk about some financial highlights. I've already mentioned that back in 2019 they managed to generate $18 million. But by the end of this year, 2020, the management said the revenue will grow by 200% to around $55 million. So relatively to other technology companies, we know those numbers are quite small. But 200% growth year over year, that's impressive. Their gross margin was 58% as for the end of 2019, which basically tells us their cost of revenue or cost of production is extremely cheap, even though they seem to have very high quality products. However, their net income is negative, and that makes sense because they are still in the early steps. Also, their cash from operation is negative, and therefore they're funding their operation mainly by selling equity, which means issuing stocks to the public. But since they're mainly selling equity and not borrowing money, their current ratio is very high, and therefore there is no fear of defaulting in the next 12 months. So their balance sheet, as I just said, looks quite well, but because that's a small company and a lot of things can change really quick, their financial situation, their liquidity, and the risk of defaulting can change really quick. Now let's talk about some risks. The main risk over here basically is regulation. The reason the sky is not full of drones as for today is because regulation won't allow it. I don't know how much time it will take, but Ehang keep updating for new establishments in this field, and it seems they are doing quite well. Competition is another thing that I'm looking at because this industry is a high growth industry and it's very competitive. Even though Ehang is the first mover when it comes to transporting passengers, it's still a new market and they need to penetrate well. The industry is still very young and it might take a long time before we will see some high and frequent trading volume, so the risk to buy the stock right now is very great because the stock might not move for a very long time from now. So far they have sold 76 heavyweight drones, the Ehang 21-6, and in Q2 of 2020 they sold 18 units alone. Recently they said they are about to build a factory that will allow them to manufacture 600 units per year. From what I understand, the manufacture should be finished and complete and ready to roll in mid-2021 or maybe at the end of 2021. So my conclusion about Ehang, that first, this company is extremely interesting. I don't know how much time it will take for this industry to take off, but I do know that's the future. I'm going to keep a close eye on this company. I'm going to give you an updates each time there is something important. Thank you for watching the video. I'm going to see you in my next one.